Is piracy a sin? Two priests told me no, because it's like peer-to-peer sharing. Does the church have any definitive teaching on this, Father? And if not, can we reasonably say that it's wrong or that it's okay?
As the Gen X, I'll have to ask the millennial, are we speaking of boarding a ship and robbing it, or are we speaking of perhaps downloading music that you didn't pay for? Is that what we're getting at here with Ivan's question?
Yes, the latter there.
Okay, well, I was in the seminary by the time the internet was invented, so I guess I was spared by some of the activities of the 90s and 2000s. But in all seriousness, we have to look at what the issues are. And Rudy, correct me if I go on a wrong path here, but my understanding of what Ivan would be speaking about would be maybe going to a site where people put up music, movies, other things that they've bought or obtained, and then other people can download it and they can kind of share this. Well, we have to look at what the church says about copyright. So the church has declared, morally speaking, we're bound to follow copyright laws. Why is that? It's a matter of justice. It's because the people who make these things and so on, they have an ownership, they have a right to receive income from it. Now, I know what the objections are. Well, but the artist only gets a half a penny for every download, and the middleman gets thousands of dollars or whatever. It doesn't matter. The church says copyright laws, as they exist, like in the United States, for instance, they have to be followed. And copyright laws in the United States really do favor the artist, the writer, the author, which says that it would be sinful if you were to download something. So in my days, it was taking vinyl records, which I guess are coming back now, but making a cassette tape and then, giving the tape to your friend so that only one of you had to buy the record. The church would say that's sinful. It's stealing. It's a form of theft. And so I'm not sure, you say two priests told you that piracy is fine because it's like peer-to-peer sharing, but peer-to-peer sharing still is under copyright laws. I think that, there's certain things in printed material like called fair use, which means that you can quote a certain amount for presentation, study purposes, that sort of thing. But you can't just copy the whole book and give it to, your friends. So in the case of the music, but none of us read it, but there is a certain license when you buy music, whether it's in physical form, a vinyl record, a CD, whether you download it, there is some sort of legal agreement that you agree to just by downloading it. And in most cases, that legal agreement is going to say, well, one purchase, one owner. You can do what you want and watch it in your home and so on. But if you start sharing that and making copies or, showing it for profit, certainly I know that's forbidden, because when we want to show a movie in the church basement or something, we have to make sure that we have the proper license if the movie is copyrighted. And, it's a matter of justice. I'm not saying that, everybody is fairly compensated. I think the artists really get the raw end of a lot of those deals, but nonetheless, the church tells us that we are bound to follow the copyright laws. And so, yes, piracy would be sinful, as I understand it. I don't know how you explained it to the two priests, or why they would have said peer-to-peer sharing wouldn't be sinful, but my understanding is that, yes, it would be. Well, for those who are still pirating music and content and all kinds of things, it's time for you to walk the poop deck to the confessional.